But look at this right here, this pink and this black shaded color. That is some large hail that is likely falling within this storm. And we can take a look at where we have the possible rotation as well. And it's going to be right in that area, actually, as it continues to track toward the east-northeast. And Jessica, remind me of how fast this one is moving.
So it is moving towards the northeast at 60 miles per hour.
All right, so 60 miles per hour, and we'll track it from here, the area of rotation. A couple of these storms moving at different speeds, but if we track it right from near the Allsboro area up to the northeast, we'll get it into Cherokee around 1034, Barton at 1038, Central at 1047, and again, going to your safe spot, whether it's that closet or that bathroom, you're putting as many walls between you and the outside as possible. If you're in Tuscumbia, it's headed your way at 1049, Cloverdale at 1050, Petersville at 1051. So this is a serious situation where we do have signs of rotation on this storm. This is going to be, again, right coming over the border right now, Mississippi and Alabama, and we'll certainly watch this one closely for you. We also have a severe thunderstorm warning. Of course, it includes those of you in Littleville, in Russellville, out toward Red Bay and Bell Green. You are in the path of a thunderstorm that could be producing 60-mile-per-hour winds as well. So this is a look at where that notch is, that area of rotation that we are seeing on the radar. That would be right near the Allsboro area right now, and something we will, again, watch really closely. We can zoom in here and get an idea of a closer look at where some of these streets and such are. Let me go ahead and turn that circle off. So that circle, as I was zooming in, was showing you an area of rotation. So that's going to be right around here. So that's northeast of Tishomingo, Mississippi, right around the Allsboro area. So here's Mount Hester, here's Cherokee, and likely able to zoom in just a little bit more to get an idea. So here's Malone. This looks like Buddy Durham Road. That's going to be east of Allsboro. So if you're familiar with this area, make sure you're in the interiormost room of your home, away from windows, and putting as many walls between you and the outside as possible. So again, we have this tornado warning. There's no confirmation on this, but this is certainly a situation that we need to take seriously. If you are getting alerts in this area and you're just now turning us on News 19 and you're curious as to where the basketball game is, that is on CW. And you're gonna note that as well, because there's gonna be an information box scrolling at your screen letting you know that. But we are gonna stay with extended coverage as we track a tornado warning in the Weather Authority News 19 viewing area. So if you are in the red box, you're in the polygon of a storm that's capable of producing a tornado. If you're in Cloverdale or if you're in Florence, the Shoals area, a couple 100,000 people living out here, you are going to be impacted by this potential tornado. There's no confirmation on it just yet, but it's a cell that we are watching that's coming out of Mississippi, now entering western Colbert County here, and then again lifting up toward the northeast at about 60 miles per hour. We have continued to track numerous thunderstorms that have been ongoing across Mississippi tonight. I do want to let you know as well that we have a situation that's been ongoing across central Mississippi. If you missed it earlier when we were breaking in, letting you know, there was catastrophic damage out in central Mississippi north of the Jackson area, Rolling Fork and Silver City, just to be exact. Reason I'm telling you that is because there are still some warnings down there that are going to continue with this storm, likely whether it's going to be severe or tornadic to be determined, but this storm cell will continue to track up toward the northeast and possibly, if it holds together, reach some of our southern counties in the next couple of hours. Jessica, I'll go ahead and send it over to you if you have any new information from the National Weather Service.
So we don't have anything new just yet. It's still moving towards the northeast at 60 miles per hour right now. I can bring up what it looks like from Colbert Heights towards where it's looking towards the storm right now. We're not seeing torrential rainfall just yet over towards Colbert Heights, but this is the view of what it is as that storm is progressing inward. Latest update just came in now from the Weather Service. They still continue the tornado warning. This just came down right now. It is continuing to move towards the northeast, 60 miles per hour. Half dollar size hail is still possible. So it is still not a confirmed tornado. I do want to make that known. It's not a confirmed tornado. It's still radar indicated tornado that we're dealing with. So that is what we're seeing out there right now. It's still radar indicated. So how Danielle has been showing you with the velocity on the radar, So that is what we've been looking at with the velocity. So just towards the west of Cherokee, towards the west of Mount Hester. That is the area that we are watching right now towards the south and west of Buzzard Roost. Danielle, that's the main area that we are watching right
so
now.
Malone to Mount Hester in
Yep.
that area, that's about where the rotation is right now. We can take a look here closer. So we've got Asphalt Rock Road, Buddy Durham Road, so the area of rotation crossing over this region right now. It will be eventually headed right over Sutton Hill Road near the Mount Hester area. So if you're familiar, certainly need to make sure that you are already in your safe spot. We gave you the heads up as soon as this warning was issued. So those are some roads. Those are some roads in the path of this tornado. Again, nothing confirmed, but the area of rotation right around here. So if you are in the Cherokee area, you're in your safe spot. Continue to be in your safe spot in Mount Hester. Area of rotation north and east of the Allsboro area. Tornado warning in effect until 11 p.m. If you're in Barton, you're in your safe spot. If you're in Red Rock as well, Hawk Pride Mountain, that area, Hawk Pride, make sure you are in your safe spot. Here's 72, and we can take a zoom out here, and you can see the river. And this is where we have Florence, of course, and Muscle Shoals. So here's 72 going out toward the west. This is where the rotation area is right through here. So if you are joining us listening from the Shoals, just know that you still have just a little bit of time to prep. So here's Petersville, Killen, and Ford City, all in the path of a potential tornado in the tornado warning polygon. The area of rotation, though, still around the Mount Hester area. So make sure you're seeking shelter right now. Minot, you are also in the path of this, but what I can tell you is it looks like the circulation is going to be just to your north. We'll watch the entire line because there is a storm line coming through to see if we have any other embedded circulations with this, but for right now, that's the one we're watching. I want to go ahead and take a expansion of the velocity product here with the view of the whole Tennessee Valley, just to let you know everything that we are seeing. And right now, we're just focusing our attention on the northwest quadrant of our state as we have this line coming through. If we switch back to our radar product, you can see the heavy rain that's showing up in red. And then of course, where we have some of these pink and black shades, that's where we have hail cores that are likely occurring. So we have the severe storm warning as well that's in effect for parts of, let's say, Franklin County here, including Red Bay, all the way up in Colbert County for the potential of high winds and even some hail out of that. Now, what I will say is even though you are here in the warning in Franklin County and the severe storm warning, the strongest is to your north, okay? So right now, this part of the storm is really weak compared to the northern flank where we have the tornado warning. So I just wanted to let you know if you are in Red Bay, the strongest is to your north. If you're anywhere here in Franklin County, the strongest is to your north. So our concern is in western Colbert, central Colbert, northern Colbert County, as well as here throughout much of Lauderdale County included in this tornado warning. The exception would be if you are in the extreme tip of Lauderdale County, where my finger is right now, you are not in the path of a tornado. So let's go ahead and take a closer look as this storm does track off to the northeast. And so we'll go ahead and draw it up toward the shoals at, like I said, about 60 miles per hour. Barton, 1042, Red Rock, 1042, rough timeline here, Hawk Pride, 1045. Out in the shoals, we're talking 1053, 1054. So you have a little bit of time. It's 10:33 right now to get to your safe spot. A lot of lightning associated with this too. Meteorologist Jessica Camuto, she's been monitoring our camera network for us, and we can get some great camera views to share with you. Jessica, I'll go ahead and send it to you for that.
Yeah, so we're going to take a look at the Tuscumbia view. Right now, this is the view from Tuscumbia itself, from the EMA tower. You can see off into the distance some of the lightning strikes. And this is the one thing, these storms, very electric. So on top of the severe weather threat that we are seeing from these storms, the chance for the $half size hail. And so whether you are dealing with that threat, that tornado right now, along that entire line, within that severe thunderstorm warning, we are dealing with that threat of the $half size hail still. And on top of that, that threat of that potential for even those strong winds close to 60 miles per hour. This is the view over towards Colbert Heights. It is now downpouring over in that area. You can see our camera is shaking there. That is due to how strong the winds are. Plus, we are continuing to see some frequent lightning, some of which is continuous cloud to ground lightning. So very electric storms that we are seeing out there, and we're continuing to see some very large hail associated with these storms, Danielle.
Thanks, Jessica. Yes, you can certainly see with that Colbert Heights camera all of that vivid lightning that's occurring. We've got it on the screen right now. Certainly equally as dangerous, those cloud to ground lightning strikes. We don't want you to be out in this. This is a very electric storm, as you see. We'll turn the lightning off just for now because we have to get a better idea of where the heaviest of rain is falling, where the potential rotation is, and we can do a zoom in here on the southern flank of the storm where we do have the potential tornado. So this is where the hail is likely falling from near Minot all the way north to Cherokee, where you see some of those pink shades, and even in that pink shade there's going to be the black shade too. That's where we likely have the hail core that is occurring. So that is also something we are tracking. We'll take a closer look here at our velocity product, and there's still an area of rotation that is concerning. So this is going to be right here in this area, right over Cherokee right now. So if you are in Cherokee, you are still in your safe spot, interior-most room, away from windows. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. That's your closet or your bathroom. And if you don't have one, just make sure that you are getting to a safe spot in your home. And we're talking, it could be a basement if you have a basement. If you have an above or below ground storm shelter, you want to make sure you go there. If you live well out ahead of this area of rotation and you have time to get to a safe shelter, do it. I know that there are some communities that offer a storm shelter, but you want to make sure you have enough time to get to it. So you want time to be able to drive to that storm shelter. So just make sure that if you do get into the path of a tornado tonight, that you give yourself some time to get there. So the rotation area is going to be right over Cherokee right now. So we'll go ahead and zoom in to this area. So where you see the peach shades with the red shades and the green kind of right next to each other on our velocity, that's showing us the wind speed and direction. Red moves away from the radar site, green moves toward the radar site, and that's the rotation that we're detecting. So that's going to be right over Cherokee. Here's 6th Street. Here's Smithsonia. This is Barton. We'll go ahead and zoom in a little bit more here to the Cherokee area right now. Here's 1st Street. And then 6th Street and Moody Lane. If you're familiar with this area, here's Mulberry Lane right here. So this area of rotation is going to track right through this region right now. Here's Cove Road. And then here's Mill Road that's north of the Cherokee area. So anywhere in this vicinity, you're seeking shelter right now from a potential tornado. So this is right in the city of Cherokee. Now we've got some other, we just got an update. So here's Claude Posey Road. There's Cove Road again, like I mentioned, an Old Lee Highway running through, it looks like the Cherokee area. Let's go ahead and zoom out because we did get another update with our velocity scan, and we can tell that this tornado rotation is moving just to the east now of the Cherokee area. So it's going to be right in this vicinity. So we have this little notch in the color scheme going on here. This is where we have that potential tornado. Jessica, has anything been confirmed yet?
Nope, we don't have any confirmation yet. It's still the same, that it's just radar indicated right now. That's the only thing that we have right now.
Okay,
from the
so
Weather Service.
No talks about any extension of a warning, correct?
Nope,
okay.
Nothing, yeah.
All right, thank you. So central to Petersville to Florence and Muscle Shoals, still in your safe spot. Again, this tornado warning for Lauderdale County, but also Colbert County until 11 p.m. So we are still dealing with this for at least another 20 minutes. If the rotation continues to show up here near the Cherokee area and continues to show up thereafter, once we get past, let's say, the next 20 minutes, then we will stay with it, of course, because we do take everybody seriously here in the Tennessee Valley. Want to make sure everybody's protected. And again, we'll stay with this as long as we have to. Cloverdale still in the path of this potential tornado, as well as Florence and Tuscumbia. We can actually go ahead and draw another storm track for those of you that might just now be joining us for coverage. Here's the area of rotation. It just scooted through the Cherokee area. So this is going to continue to track up toward the east-northeast, and then at that to speed, Smithsonian at 10:43, Oakland at 10:49. If you're in Sheffield, it's 10:53, Petersville, 10:54 for you on the current path of a potential tornado. That severe thunderstorm warning does continue for the areas in this yellow box. So if you're here in Russellville, you do have a severe thunderstorm warning for the potential of some strong winds associated with this. Before I do go back to Jessica, let me do another look, a closer look as we zoom in to this potential area of rotation, possible tornado. So that's going to be now north of Barton. And we'll zoom in even further to get some streets on here. So this is going to be crossing the county line before too long. Here's Smithsonian, here's Barton, and we'll do another deeper dive. There's County Road 2 there on your screen. And now we've got Mulberry Lane and Cane Creek. If you're familiar with this area, this is where the potential tornado is tracking. It's going to be tracking through the Smithsonian area, really between there and just to the south. So where you have the peaches and the reds right through here, that's where we've got the area of rotation that's currently ongoing. So we will watch this carefully, and I'm gonna send it over to Jessica because she's been updating us on we've been talking about the rotation, but she's updating us on just how powerful some of that lightning is tonight.
Yeah, very electric storms. No matter whether you're dealing with a tornado warning or just a severe thunderstorm warning, these storms are very electric out there. So on top of that threat of dealing with damaging winds, especially the $half size hail itself, we are dealing with very frequent lightning. This is the view right now from Florence Harbor. Torrential rainfall is occurring there right now, and we're also dealing with very frequent lightning. So that is another issue we are dealing with. Another thing is going to be that hail threat. Danielle has showed you multiple times the fact on the reflectivity, some of the pink and the black on there, that kind of shows you the hail threat. This is a look at our hail tracker. This kind of shows you the probability of where hail kind of had fallen from these storms. So where kind of the pink shade is, the black shade is, that's where the highest probability of where that strongest part of where those storms are, where we have the strongest updraft. So where the largest hail has fallen. So Danielle, on top of that threat of the tornado, on top of the threat of the lightning, we are also dealing with now the $half size hail, and we now have a new severe thunderstorm warning that has been issued. So they have extended the severe thunderstorm warning, Danielle.
Thank you. Let's go back to our radar. We'll show you here what we're dealing with, still tracking that area of rotation, and that's going to be just north of the Barton area. We'll go ahead and take the home view because we do now have a new severe thunderstorm warning has been extended into western Lawrence County, and also does include eastern Lauderdale County. That is in effect now until 11:30 here tonight. So if you are in Moulton, you're not included in this, but if you are in western Lawrence or again eastern Lauderdale, you are now in a severe thunderstorm warning until 11:30. Powerful storms out there tonight. The warnings that come out that are severe are likely going to be for 60-mile-per-hour winds and 1-inch hail. That's about what we're expecting with these storms tonight. Tornado warnings, of course, are possible. We already have this one ongoing. This one is until 11 p.m. So we have roughly 15 more minutes to watch this storm to see if it produces a tornado. Right now, we continue to track an area of rotation that's now moving between Barton and Oakland. It's crossing the county line right now, and it's likely going to continue to track more toward the east or east-northeast. It's going to be moving right over Highway 20, headed toward the Petersville area. Here's Florence, so Petersville to Florence. Here's Oakland and Barton. So this is going to be where we have that area of rotation. So again, embedded in this line, we are going to continue to watch for areas of circulation. So there's going to be rotation occurring within this line of storms, and sometimes these can be very quick. So we can get areas of rotation that happen and then they go away. Some of them can be sustained where they do continue, and we have seen the history of that throughout Mississippi tonight as well, of some of these storms sustaining themselves with rotation for longer than just a minute or 2 minutes. So we're going to watch every little feature that we can on this radar tonight for you. And again, what you're looking at right now is our velocity product. So the velocity is showing us wind speed and direction, and that wind moving away and toward the radar site. So right through here, it is still west of the shoals. So the area of rotation is still west of the shoals, and it has just crossed that county line. So now it is in Lauderdale County. So the area of rotation in Lauderdale County now, not Colbert. So we're seeing that, and it'd be interesting to see if they trim this back. I'm sure they will at some point, but here's the area of rotation right here. So that is occurring in Lauderdale County. Severe thunderstorm warning again for those of you in Russellville. You are still dealing with this, and we'll go ahead and put a source of a radar on here, a couple different sources. We'll check it out from multiple views. And that pink shade, that is nasty. That's a hail core likely, and we'll have in that some areas of black, which shows the hail size is even higher. Jessica was showing you a few minutes ago where that hail was tracking through. Let's go ahead and take a look at our product that is called shear rate, but it can tell us where we're still tracking some areas of rotation, or at least some really strong winds out of this. And the legend shows you right there at the top of your screen. The green is weak, the maroon is strong, and the yellow is extreme. So we are still watching that one area in particular that does show rotation, and that's going to be right south of the Oakland area and north of Woodland. So here's again the shoals just west of your area. That's our rotation detector where we could be possibly having a tornado right now, tornado warning in effect until 11 p.m. And if we co-locate the reflectivity on here for you, we've got heavy rain associated with this. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of lightning. I do have lightning tracker turned off at the moment so we can analyze the source better, show you where we have the rotation as well as the hail. Look at all of these pinks here. So this is near Woodland. This is Red Rock. Look at the black. That's hail. So that's up over an inch most likely. Here's Hawk Pride Mountain Off-Road Park. And then here's Newsom Springs. So all of this is hail, and that's going to be an issue tonight as well. And then there's Woodland. So that's what we're looking at in this area. Big picture, Huntsville, we're still in the clear. And we've got the shoals, of course, in the threat of a tornado right now. It's 10:46 on Friday. We're gonna continue to stay with this for a few moments longer, of course, as there could be another situation where we have another area of rotation that develops, or maybe this one just wraps up. Jessica, you've got some updates for us on the cameras.
Yeah, so this one right now, you can see just how electric this storm is. This has been nonstop lightning. This is over towards the Colbert Heights camera. This is pointed directly at that storm. So this is just showing you how electric and how strong this storm is. And the reason why these storms are so strong out there and why they are continuing to kind of just intensify and why we're seeing the chance of not only damaging winds, that tornado threat out there, is because we have such a favorable environment for these storms to kind of thrive out there this evening. We are seeing such frequent cloud to ground lightning with all of these storms out there. You can just see it right there with the Colbert Heights camera. So this is something that we are going to be dealing with. I do want to note that that tornado warning does remain in effect for areas until 11 p.m. Danielle, they did do that update with it, and it does still have the moving towards the northeast at 60 miles per hour. And of course, they still have that note about the large hail that we're still dealing with it.
Thank you very much. Look, I just keep looking at that Colbert Heights camera, just very impressive lightning associated with this. We always say when thunder roars, head indoors. You don't know, how far away that lightning is necessarily if you're outside. So certainly want to make sure you're heading indoors. But nonetheless, I think that the most serious situation, of course, would be that potential for a tornado. Let's go ahead and zoom in once again because we're going to continue with this. Here's the Sheffield area. The area of rotation is going to be just west of Sheffield. So this is also where the large hail core is occurring. Let's put our velocity product back on this for you, and we'll show you where the rotation is. So again, it is still showing up just west of Sheffield. So if you are in Sheffield, you're in your safe spot. If you're in the Shoals, you're in your safe spot. That includes those of you in Florence, in Tuscumbia, and Petersville as Muscle Shoals as well. And just to give you some perspective, of course, here's Highway 72. This area of rotation is going to be just north of Highway 72. 72. And we can take another source of our velocity here, and velocity again, wind speed and direction. So we're gonna look right in this area where there's this little notch that's taking place. So it looks like the area of rotation's just northwest of the Sheffield area. So that was just coming out of Cherokee. So we were tracking this as it was moving here out of the Cherokee area and continuing toward the northeast. Now it looks like it is going to continue to lift that direction and approach the Florence area. So this is a serious situation where we want to make sure that we're in our interior-most room away from windows. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. We can zoom in a little bit closer here to this potential tornado. So this is where the rotation is right now. And go ahead and put some roads on. There's County Road 19. So if you are in this area, make sure you are seeking shelter. Here's County Road 15. Here's County Road 131. A lot of cities in the past, so we're talking Cypress Heights, Florence, McFarland Park, Cliff Haven, Sheffield, Muscle Shoals, Edgemont, Florence. There's the high school there. Here's Briarcliff. We just got a new scan. I'll go ahead and zoom out just so we can get a better idea of where that rotation now resides. So that's going to be, looks like, right through here, Jessica. I think I want to make sure this is, you're seeing the same thing. So this is went from Cherokee up toward the northeast, kind of tracking this direction into the shoals right now.
Yep, 55 miles per hour now.
All right, and it looks like, thank you, and it looks like they trimmed back like we were expecting that tornado warning. So Cherokee, you are no longer in it. You can go ahead and come out of your safe spot. Mount Hester the same. So go ahead and come out of your safe spot if you're in Cherokee and Mount Hester, as this rotation has moved off to your east. But if you are in the shoals, you are still in your safe spot. So this is continuing to track up to the northeast at about 60 miles per hour. Let's go ahead and turn our storm tracker on, and we'll go ahead and draw it from that little notch. That's going to be just west of the Florence area. And this storm is moving quickly. I mean, 60 miles per hour is pretty quick. That's going to be moving into Petersville here with the next few minutes. Indian Springs at 10:58. St. Florine at 10:58. If you are in Rogersville, on the current path, would move into your area around 11:15. So there's no confirmation on this, but there is radar indicated rotation and a situation that we want to take seriously. We can put our, what we call the shear rate product on, and I've got that located right on that leading edge of where I was drawing the rotation, and you're noticing some of that green, and that's where we could still be detecting a potential tornado. So still stay in your safe spot if you are in the shoals. So wait until you hear us give you the clear, because we are not yet there. There is still an area of rotation, and they will continue this tornado warning until 11 o'clock. So another 9 minutes. We're going to stay with this for another 9 minutes. So stay with us. Make sure you got that bike helmet on as well, or a hard hat, something to protect yourself from flying debris. Jessica, you have some reports coming in.
So right now we have, it's not confirmed, but right now we have a non-confirmed preliminary report from a spotter that says they saw a rotating wall cloud 3 miles northeast over towards the Muscle Shoals area. So towards the area that you were pointing out rotation earlier.
All right, so it looks like we're getting some unconfirmed reports of a wall cloud near the shoals. Again, unconfirmed report, but certainly something piquing our ears and our interest, of course, because we're continuing to track a potential tornado that's moving through the shoals right now. We know we have a lot of people that live there, so you can see the highways on your screen, people in the path of the storm. Make sure you're seeking shelter. You're going ahead and putting that helmet on if you can. Make sure you have tennis shoes on in case, because you don't want to step outside in debris. So we're having our helmets and our tennis shoes on, and we're going to that interior-most room of your home away from windows, closet, or bathroom. If you have an above or below ground safe spot, make sure you head there. All right, let's go ahead and put our product back on here that's going to show us where we have the rotation, so we can get a better idea of where that's at right now with some of the latest scans. We'll zoom in here. So that's going to be those of you in Florence. You're still in your safe spot. Sheffield, Muscle Shoals. We'll zoom in here. So it's going to be this area right here where the potential tornado will be moving. So here's UNA. That's the campus up there, of course. You're in the path of this storm. Here's Jim Spain Drive, Cliff Haven, Washington Park, Sheffield. You're still in your safe spot. We've got Singing River Bridge and Edgemont also in the path of this thunderstorm as we continue to track this rotation area. We just got the latest scan, so it's right over UNA right now, right over Edgemont, right over Florence. Basically where you're seeing kind of these peaches and these reds that are butted up together, that's where we certainly have the area of rotation. There's McFarland Park on your screen. So this is an area that needs to make sure they're already in their safe spot. Here's Railroad Avenue, East Florence. Here's downtown Florence and UNA. All of these areas in the path of a potential tornado right now. Go to your safe spot. Stay there until we tell you it's okay to come out. This warning in effect for another 6 minutes. And then here's Highway 17. Here's 133. Here's 184 to give you some perspective of where we're looking. It's basically right through here. So it's moving right through the shoals right now, the area of rotation. There's not been anything confirmed for us yet. Really hard to spot a tornado at night. There are often not chasers out at night because it's simply too hard to see what you're looking at. Oftentimes, if you get power flashes, it could also be straight line winds, not necessarily always a tornado. Most cases, yes, but some cases it could be straight line winds. Either way you look at it, whether it is a tornado or straight line winds, it is still a powerful storm and it bears watching. So here's our product that's showing us the reflectivity. That's basically telling us where rain is occurring, where hail could be occurring. And then of course we can put our lightning back on to show you how electric this storm is tonight. All of those bolts are cloud to ground lightning strikes. The negative ones there in blue, the yellowish ones there are the positive strikes. Those are certainly the most dangerous. And then embedded in this, we also have the hail core that's showing up here in the pink. So if you are along Highway 17 in Lauderdale County, you have the hail core that's moving over right now. Jessica.
This is just something for down the road that I want to bring to your attention, just something to note for down the road later on. There is a tornado emergency just to the south of us now, just for later on down the road.
Okay, thank you. So let's go back to our Lynx product here. We will take the home view and get everybody caught up here on what's going on across the rest of the area. So yeah, so remember earlier we were talking about the storms that were ongoing through Rolling Fork and Silver City earlier that were producing catastrophic damage. Well, those storms have continued to move off to the northeast, and now here's Amory and there's Aberdeen, Mississippi. Now we've got a confirmed tornado warning here that's in Marion County. So Jessica was pointing that out, and she's going to continue to help me look for circulations tonight as they develop. So this one is the one that we're tracking right now that's in our area, is going to be the shoals. So you're still in your safe spot. Again, that's the confirmed tornado warning from Marion County on the path. This one coming out of Mississippi is going to be moving into Marion County, could potentially eventually, if it holds together as it has been all night, move through Franklin and then possibly into Lawrence County. So thanks for that, Jessica. All right, so let's go ahead and take a closer look at the shoals again with this tornado warning. St. Florine, you're in the path. Petersville to Florence, still in the path of a potential tornado. A lot of heavy rain associated with this as well. And then of course we have the hail core that is ongoing within this storm. Tornado warning again until 11. So we got just 3 minutes left to see if they are going to stay with this or if they are going to extend this. Any word from them yet, Jessica?
Nothing yet. They haven't said anything yet from the National Weather Service or anything about it.
Okay, so we will stay with this for just a little bit longer just to see what ends up happening, but there's still going to be some areas of rotation within this. We'll zoom in here. I've got our velocity product on here that's gonna show us that wind speed and direction, and we just talked about how this was moving through the Florence area, it was moving through UNA. Looks like it continues to push up toward the northeast, so this is going to move into Indian Springs, Lakeside Highlands, here's Sky Park and Alabama Shores. So an area of broad rotation through this region right now that still exists. We've got about 2 minutes left on this tornado warning to see if the Weather Service decides to extend this. But for now, stay in your safe spot if you are in the shoals, including Florence and including the cities here that you see, St. Florine, Belmead, Indian Springs, Sky Park, Lock 6, Lakeside Heightlands, and Alabama Shores. So we just got another update, and that's why I paused for a moment.
They issued a new warning for Lawrence, Colbert, and Limestone County, so they extended it.
Okay, so it looks like they extended this as a severe thunderstorm warning, not necessarily, let's see here. So they are extending that as a tornado. We just got, thank you. So we just got that update, that polygon just coming on. So we have had an extension of the tornado warning because we're still seeing that area of broad rotation. We'll stay with this now. It is approaching 11 o'clock on Friday, and we are continuing to track a tornado warned storm moving through the shoals right now. New tornado warning until 11:45. So we still have the yellow polygon. That's what I was looking at as the possible extension. But now we've got the tornado warning polygon that's just popped on. So that is what the extension is going to be that tornado warning until 11:45. Still, if you were in Rogersville, you're in a severe thunderstorm warning, as well as Cortland down to Hatton is in a severe thunderstorm warning. So we still have the possibility of some dangerous winds that could be straight line in these areas. So here's Cortland and Hatland, and here's the Colbert Heights area, Littleville, Russellville back to your west. So this is the line still yet to come in. But again, that is also what we're watching that has the potential of producing a 60-mile-per-hour wind gust and also that hail that we have been seeing tonight. So here's Killen. Stay in your safe spot. You are still in a tornado warning. If you're in Ford City, you are in a tornado warning. We said we were going to see what they do. They decided to reissue another tornado warning, and now we have places like Killen in the path, Antioch, Aqua Vista, Big Oak, Center Star, Mitchelltown, all in the path of a potential tornado. So make sure you are staying in your safe spot. If you are in the Florence area on the east side, I would stay there for just a few moments longer until we give you the clear. If you're in Muscle Shoals, you look to be good. Let's go ahead and zoom in here, and then we'll put our velocity back on, so our wind speed and direction. And yeah, so certainly some really high winds associated with this storm. If you were in Muscle Shoals, though, you were in the clear. If you were in Sheffield, you're in the clear. But this right here, Jessica, I mean, that's a pretty strong circulation that's starting to develop here.
Yeah, that's something they're monitoring right there, is actually that rotation specifically.
Yeah, so right here, if we go ahead and put our shear rate on it, we're going to have that shear rate showing up right through here. Killen, make sure you are in your safe spot. Let's go ahead and take a look here at our products. We've got heavy rain and lightning, and we also have now an area of rotation that is starting to show signs of strengthening actually here. As it was moving through Sheffield and Florence, it had broadened out a little bit. It does look like it's perhaps starting to strengthen back up. So Killen, make sure you're in your safe spot. Ford City, the same. St. Florine, you're in your safe spot too, as we track this storm. Tornado warning in effect until 11:45. It's gonna cross over 72 through Killen. And this is right here where the area of rotation is. Let me put a different source of our velocity product on here. So right through here is going to be where that rotation is. So that's going to be east now of Petersville. If you are in downtown Petersville, you are currently okay to come out of your safe spot. If you're in downtown Petersville, if you're in downtown Florence or downtown Muscle Shoals, all of you are currently okay from a tornado potential, because we have this area of rotation that continues to lift up to the northeast and out of your area. But certainly a strong area of rotation right through here, where you're seeing that green and that peach shaded color right next to each other. That's indicative of what we call velocity couplet. So it's winds moving away and toward the radar site. It's basically what we look at to see if a tornado is occurring. Now, we don't have any confirmation on this yet, but we certainly have noticed that it's picking up on our radar product, our velocity product tonight. So make sure that you are taking this seriously. You're going to go to that interior-most room of your home away from windows, and you're going to put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. The idea, again, protect yourself from flying debris. If you are just now joining us, basketball is on CW. We're continuous coverage here with tornado warnings ongoing across North Alabama. And this has just moved through the shoals, including Florence and Tuscumbia and Sheffield. It's now moving through Killen. So if you are in Killen, you are still in your safe spot. As we zoom in here, we just got another scan. It's moving through Killen right now. There's Highway 43 on your screen. We'll zoom in even closer. Here's Lock 6. Here's Lakeside Acres. So this is the rotation area right through here. This is going to continue to lift up towards Center Star and Big Oak and Mitchelltown. If you're familiar, this is where the rotation is, and we need to make sure that we are in our safe spots right now. Here's Club Drive, and here's County Road 71. So this is downtown Killen right here. Here's County Road 71. So the rotation is going to be scooting right over your area right now. Make sure, again, that you are still in your safe spot. We can zoom in even tighter to get a couple of other areas on here. So it looks like Linger Lost Road is right here. We've got Elm Drive. Here's County Road 71. This is East Killen. So you are in the path. If you are hearing me now, make sure you are in your safe spot. Potential tornado coming through right now. Jessica, anything new coming in tonight or an update to our cameras that you can share with us tonight with any visuals out there?
So the only updated thing so far from the Weather Service right now is that the severe thunderstorm warning is continued. It has been canceled for Franklin County. So Franklin County, you have been cleared from the severe thunderstorm warning. It does continue for Colbert, Lauderdale, and Lawrence counties until 11:30. We do continue to have that threat of 60-mile-per-hour winds, and we also have that threat for an inch-size hail or larger. And then, of course, we have that potential for the tornado. Henceforth, we have that tornado warning. I'm going to give you a look quick over towards the Colbert Heights camera again, and you can see the difference now, not as much lightning there. That's because that cell and that line is continued to push further off to the east. So as it does, the lightning will begin to come down, but you will continue to deal with the gusty winds and, of course, the rain as it continues to come across the area. But taking a zoomed out view, you can see the main thing we have is the tornado warning that's still in effect for northeast Lauderdale County into parts of northeast Colbert County, northern tip of Lawrence, and then especially into Limestone County. Danielle.
Thanks, Jessica. And yes, let's keep watching that cell in Marion County. And if you see anything else that's developing or strengthening down there or starting to move closer to our viewing area, just let me know.
Yep,
and we'll take a closer look on that as well. Yes, so here's Killen, and you're still in the path of a potential tornado. You hear us say potential tornado often. It's because we just don't have a confirmation. It's dark out. It's very hard to know if one has been spotted unless there's somebody out there that's got their lights shining on the sky and can see power flashes, which sometimes can mean straight line winds and not necessarily a tornado. But either way, it's just really hard to confirm whether or not we have a tornado. So we have to take it seriously and get into our safe spot. So this is moving right over Killen, and I can't say it enough. You're still in your safe spot. Don't come out until we tell you. We've been letting you know in the shoals, those of you in Sheffield, if you're in Florence, you are good to come out. If you're in Killen, stay in your safe spot. Here's Atlas, here's Pinedale Acres, here's Big Oak, Aqua Vista, certainly needing to seek shelter if you have not already. You are still in the path of a potential tornado. Here's 101 and 72. So if you live anywhere along 101 or 72 east of Killen, right where I'm showing you right now, here's 101, here's 72 east of Killen. We just got the latest scan. You just saw it. This is where it's headed. So make sure you are in your safe spot east of Killen along 101, and here's 72. Area of rotation right through here. So this is exactly where we would be potentially having that tornado right now. That is crossing through Lauderdale County. So if you are in, let's say, northeastern Colbert County right now, you are not in an area where there is currently rotation that I am seeing. So even though we have the tornado warning polygon still in effect for this part, it looks like the rotation is in Lauderdale County now. However, that being said, we still have the potential for really high winds associated with this line. And let me go ahead and put our reflectivity product on here for you. That's going to show us the rain, or that nasty line. And so here's that nasty line right through here. So even though if you're where my hand is, you're not seeing the rotation at this moment for the tornado, if you're just to the south of that, that's where we could still be detecting some really high winds, because yes, you are still in a severe thunderstorm warning until 11:30. And that does include those of you in Cortland, so western Lawrence County and eastern Colbert County in the path of some strong, potentially straight line winds, okay? So tornado warning still in effect for the areas in red, and those of you in Limestone County are included. I know we have not yet mentioned Limestone County. That is because the circulation has not yet reached your area, but if you are in Athens, you are in a tornado warning. So just a heads up there. Jessica.
I just want to give you an update on the severe thunderstorm warning. The threat for the winds have been increased to a considerable threat, 70-mile-per-hour wind threat now.
Okay, with this one right here?
Yep, severe thunderstorm warning.
All right, so thank you for that. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at our velocity product again. We'll go ahead and see. So rushing out ahead of this line is going to be some high winds. We just talked a little bit about that, how even though if you are in Colbert County and let's say western Lawrence County on this side of the storm right here, you might not be in the path of the rotation area, but you certainly are in the path of the potential straight line winds, as I was telling you. So Jess giving me the update now coming in. We had the warning out for 60, so now 70 potentially mile-per-hour winds associated with that. So the area of rotation, as you see, kind of moving right through Lauderdale County right now. I want to zoom in to this one, and we're going to keep our eye on Marion County too. There's that, I mean, look at this. Let me just point this out really quick. This right here, look at that. That is a tornado emergency right there in Mississippi, okay, everybody? And the reason I'm pointing it out real quick, this is going to continue to track into Marion County where there's a confirmed tornado warning. And then that could eventually move into Franklin County. Everybody in Franklin County needs to watch us because of this right here. That is a very strong area of rotation in Mississippi. So we are going to continue to watch that for you as well.
Birmingham is also watching it because if it tightens back up, they are going to issue a tornado emergency.
Okay, so thank you for that. For Marion County, correct?
Yep. Marion.
So she's just telling me, yeah, so you just heard her. So Birmingham, watching that one closely. They will go tornado for that one. And then we'll watch that to see if that goes into Franklin. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look here at this one that's still moving through Lauderdale County. So here's 101. It's crossing 101 right now, Highway 101. Here's Lexington. Killen, if you are in downtown Killen, the strongest area of rotation is to your east now. So it looks like you are currently okay from a potential tornado. Killen, okay from a potential tornado. So rotation is going to be right through here. We're seeing this notch right here. I'll go ahead and circle it. So it's going to be right through here. That's where a potential tornado could be occurring. So Rogersville, heads up for you. That's coming your way. Anderson, also in the path of a potential tornado. This is Killen. It just moved through there, so you are okay now. Again, just another recap. Petersville, Florence, and Muscle Shoals, you are also in the clear, so no longer tornado threat for you at this moment. We'll let you know if anything changes. So right through here is where we're seeing that potential for a tornado, and we'll go ahead and take another look at the velocity product, which is showing us that wind speed and direction. And we've got an area right through here near Rogersville. Looks like maybe a couple little notches that are starting to develop here. Certainly one coming into the Rogersville area right now. So make sure you are in your safe spot in Rogersville. Jessica.
Sorry, if you look at the Athens camera really quick, oh, they just had a power surge. I really wish we had the camera up. So power is flickering in Athens right now in the storm isn't even there yet. So the power is, so that's just telling you how strong the winds are even just out ahead of that tornado warning storm.
Yes, and we have this great camera network that can show us all different views, and we will continue to check those out tonight as these storms move through. Certainly powerful with all of the lightning, and then of course we'll try to get an idea of if there is a tornado, but again, very hard to see at night unless we get some sort of lightning that illuminates it. All right, so we still have this area of rotation that's tracking through Rogersville right now, so you are still in your safe spot, moving right over 72, and it looks like, let's go ahead and take this out a little bit. Yeah, so we still have, all right, so it looks like they extended the severe thunderstorm warning. So we now have a severe thunderstorm warning that includes Madison County and the Huntsville area. So this is until 12:15. So if you're in Huntsville, if you were in Hazel Green, and it does actually include those of you in Fayetteville, in Lincoln County, Tennessee, until 12:15. So a nasty line of storms capable of producing tornadoes moving through right now. Make sure you know what to do in case a tornado warning is issued. But right now we have a severe thunderstorm warning now in effect for Huntsville up toward Fayetteville, Decatur. You're right on the border of this severe thunderstorm warning for now. If you're in Athens, you're still in a tornado warning. And if you were in, let's say, northern Lawrence County, you're also in a severe thunderstorm warning. We can take a closer look here at this velocity right through here. And we still are showing this rotation right north. I mean, this thing is moving right north of Rogersville right now. So if there is a tornado occurring, it's going to be crossing just north of Highway 72 near the Rogersville area. So see where this peach shaded color is? And we just got the update. See where the peach is and the green right through here? That's where we would have the tornado occurring. So that's gonna be between Anderson and Rogersville, and that's just north of Highway 72. Let me go ahead and track this from the area of rotation that I'm seeing. This storm still, I believe, moving at about 60 miles per hour. So if we, is it moving at the tornado warning now?
Let me double check that.
She's going to double check the speed of the storm. Some of them are moving at different speeds.
So right now it's, oh, hold on. It is now, so Train Spotter has reported a funnel cloud now with that one, and it is now, let me find it.
It says
again.
moving east at 60 miles per hour.
Yep.
Yeah, so it is still moving at 60 miles per hour. She was telling us that there is a report of a funnel cloud. All right, so we got a report of a funnel cloud now near this area. So this is moving at 60. Let's go ahead and track it here. I've got my tracker turned on. So we're gonna track it from the rotation area up toward the northeast at about 60. That's gonna put it in Cairo at 11:23, Salem at 11:26. We'll go even closer here, Cedar Grove at 11:19. If you're in Bethel, 11:32, Alabama Fork at 11:33. So we're drawing it from the area of circulation, moving right just north of downtown Rogersville right now, continuing to move to the east-northeast. Just got the latest scan at 60 miles per hour. Looks like we do have a report of a possible funnel cloud in that area now, so we will keep you updated on this serious situation. Again, if you're just joining us, this is a tornado warning in effect until 11:45. It does include those of you in Rogersville. You're in your safe spot still. It does include those of you in Athens. We're going to let you know where that circulation passes, whether it passes right over Athens or north of Athens. Right now, I will say that it is tracking more north of you. So if this thing were to, let's say, continue to the due east, this is where it would move, all right? So it'd be moving just north of downtown Athens. But we have a camera in Athens, so we will be able to show you as this storm approaches what it's looking like from that perspective as well. So I just wanted to let you know of the direction the storm is moving. And we can actually put a time lapse here for you too. And oops, I know we have a lot of trying to hand track a lot of different things on the screen right now. Let me go ahead and pull back, and we'll go ahead and close out a couple of these things, and then we'll be able to put the time lapse for you. So there you go. So time lapse showing you where we have had storms and where the storms currently are moving, and note all of the polygons. So we've certainly been tracking a rough line of storms moving in tonight and continuing to produce the potential 60-mile-per-hour winds with the embedded circulation. So I wanted to show you this, but also show you the home view, because if you are in Huntsville, you're now in a severe thunderstorm warning. Fayetteville as well. If you're still in Albertville, let's say you're in Fort Payne, Coleman, there's still nothing going on in your area, but this whole line is headed your way. Remember, we told you it was likely going to be moving into the Huntsville metro area sometime between about midnight and 3 a.m. for some of the roughest storms. So we still have a while to go. Again, these polygons, these warnings are being issued way in advance. So the storms for us in Huntsville are still back to the west, of course. So let's go ahead and take a closer look once again at these storms as they move through this area. And this rotation area has just crossed north of the Rogersville area. Let's go ahead and sample this. This is 57-mile-per-hour winds in 23. So we're looking at maybe 70+ mile-per-hour winds essentially in this storm. Again, what you're looking at is the red moving away from the radar site and green moving toward the radar site. And we can take samples of the wind within both of those products. And that tells us the possible wind speed in that possible tornado. So that could be upwards of 70+ miles per hour. This is the area of rotation right now. This is going to be just around the Anderson area where I've drawn that white circle. So if you're in Cairo, in your safe spot right now, if you're in Salem or Anderson, you're still in your safe spot. Remember, everyone in the red blinking box in a tornado warning needs to be thinking and going to their safe spot. Thinking in Elkmont about where you're gonna go as this circulation comes your way. If you are in Cairo, you're in your safe spot now. If you're in Coxie, the rotation is gonna be to your north. We'll see if anything happens, if it jogs to the south, but I don't think that's gonna happen. I think this thing is gonna continue to lift up towards Salem. Cairo, you're right there in the path too, so make sure you're headed to your safe zone. Again, Coxie, it looks like this area of rotation, is gonna cross just to your north. Just got the latest scan. Jessica, I'm gonna go ahead and toss it over to you, and you can update us on any information within the chat as well as any cameras that you have as well.
Okay, so I'm looking at a bunch of different things right now. I'm also monitoring the storm in Hamilton County. So that has broadened out. They still have the confirmed tornado warning down there that is still rapidly moving towards the northeast. So southern Franklin County, we are still monitoring that for you. That has 80 to 90 mile-per-hour winds moving into Hamilton County right now. Also on and now into Lauderdale County, almost 7,000 customers without power right now as that line moved through, multiple trees down. We have trees down on homes right now also out there, and also just trees down on roads that are included over towards the Sheffield area, also over towards the Tuscumbia area. So we are continuing to monitor these storms just because of outside of that tornado warned storm itself, these winds are very powerful. These winds are about 70 miles per hour that we are dealing with just with that severe thunderstorm warning, Danielle.
And I'm hearing the thunder too at our studio, so we're likely getting lightning way out ahead of this thunderstorm. We can go ahead and turn that back on for a moment just to show you where we are detecting that. I mean, there's of course a lot of lightning in that storm itself, but if we take a closer look out, I would imagine that lightning bolt's gonna pop on at any minute because we just did have the thunder here at the station. So I'm gonna go ahead and just analyze things that we have going on, because I know you're looking at this and there are a lot of layers. So we have the yellow box, which is a severe thunderstorm warning until 12:15. We have a tornado warning in red until 11:45. And then of course we have a lot of lightning that's ongoing. So that is dangerous in itself. I'll turn the lightning off and we'll zoom back into this area of rotation, because embedded within this nasty line of storms, there's the potential for a tornado. And we'll have that for you right over the Cairo area right now. So this is going to be where the potential tornado would be in this vicinity. So right where my hand is right now. If you're in Cairo, you're still in your safe spot. If you're in Salem, you're in your safe spot. Coxie, it's gonna go right to your north. So I think you're okay for this one, but right through here is gonna be where we have the potential tornado that's gonna continue to move off to the east. So we'll continue to update you on that as well. Jessica did mention the nasty storm that is ongoing here to our southwest, and I do want to do a quick look at that one. That is a nasty looking storm. This is going to be just north and west of the Hamilton area. This is in Marion County, but just a heads up, it is traveling northeast. This has been a long tracked storm, everybody, moving through Mississippi tonight. Here's Hackleburg, there's Phil Campbell, Spruce Pine, and Hodges. So just again, a heads up, this is headed your way. So we wanted to give you that alert that if you are in southern Franklin County, you need to be on guard and continuing to keep updated with us for that storm that could be potentially headed your way, holding together with a powerful velocity couplet on that thing, okay? So that thing has not shown signs of weakening in Marion County. So just a heads up there. Let's go back to this area of rotation in, looks like it's starting to get closer to Limestone County. So if you're in Athens, here's Athens, the rotation area is going to be right through here. So it's passing over Cairo right now, and we can sample some of the wind associated with this, and we're still looking at about 60 plus miles per hour wind velocity in this storm. So we still need to take this seriously, whether it's rotating or not, because it's still possible that we're seeing 60 plus miles per hour the wind with this storm. But still a tornado warning in effect for Salem and O'Neill and Elkmont and Athens. If you're in Coxie, you are not going to be impacted by this unless this thing does some weird jog to the south, due south, which I don't think that's going to happen. I think this is going to continue to translate or move, that is, up to the northeast. Again, we're just sampling some of the wind speeds in these storms for you tonight so you can get an idea. We can put our shear rate product on here. That's going to show us where we have potential for high winds and possible rotation, weak rotation being shown up here on our shear rate product right now. And again, if anything changes, we'll certainly let you know. But there's the river right there, and we zoom in where we're seeing the rotation right now. And that's moving right through Cairo. So we're making sure that we're in our safe spot. And here's Hickory Hills. There's Elk Estates, Lentzville, and Gypsy, Cartwright. So just got the latest scan as that continues to move right into Limestone County. Jessica has a camera up for Athens, so let's go ahead and check out what's going on there, Jess.
Yeah, so in the Athens area, the winds have certainly picked up within the past few minutes, actually, and you can see the lightning is more frequent there. Not raining much just yet, but the winds are so strong and it's so consistent that the flag is just kind of just straight out there, and the wind is so strong out there that it is leaning to down trees across much of the area. So just keep this in mind that this line of storms, as it pushes through, it's producing 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts. We had a report over in the Florence area, over by the 7 Points area, of a tree that fell down on an automobile with entrapment over in that area tonight. And then, of course, multiple trees down in Lauderdale County. In Lauderdale County itself, thousands without power tonight, Danielle.
Thanks for that report. 11:25 now, and we have this warning that continues until 11:45 for a potential tornado over Cairo. So make sure you're in your safe spot. If you're in Rogersville, we still have some powerful winds associated with this. So even though we're talking about a potential tornado, we are detecting winds that could be very strong of upwards of 60 miles per hour. And I'm going to put another source of a radar on this as we do get closer to Huntsville. We have a different radar source. We can bounce back and forth a couple of different ones. And all of the red is heavy rain. We have the frequent lightning. The storm's very electric, as you see, but these winds are also really strong within this line of thunderstorms. And, I bet if we were to sample a couple of these here, you're going to notice that these winds are really powerful. So just along the leading edge of this line. And of course, the radar, remember, okay, we have a new tornado warning, it looks like. My producer just got in my ear letting me know about that. Thanks, Jacob. So this right here, again, potential for 80-mile-per-hour winds, but the beam is hitting at a different elevation. So that's what I'm trying to say. Those winds might not exactly be 80, but they could certainly be 60 to 70 miles per hour just based on where the radar beam is scanning there. All right, so we do have this new tornado warning now in effect for Spruce Pine, Phil Campbell, Russellville. That's in effect until 12:15. That does include those of you in Hodges. So we do have a tornado warning now in effect for that same storm we were tracking that has been moving through Marion County. Now I'm going to go ahead and switch our other radar back on so we can see this even closer. And this is what it looks like right now on our reflectivity with the heavy rainfall, of course. We do have frequent lightning associated with this. And then, of course, we're tracking a nasty area of velocity right through here. So it's going to be right through here is where we have a potential tornado that's going to be north of Hamilton right now. And we do have a tornado warning in effect for those of you in Spruce Pine and in Phil Campbell because of this storm. So this storm continuing to track northeast, that's going to be moving close to the Hackleburg area, and then eventually is going to be tracking into Franklin County. We've been giving you the heads up about this for a while now, but now we have the tornado warning. Jessica, can you let us know how fast this particular storm is moving?
55 miles per hour towards the northeast.
So that one's moving 50 miles per hour toward the northeast. Let's track this one, give you some times of arrival. Let me use a different storm track here because this is a kind of a nasty storm, so we can kind of draw it like this. And you said 60? Let's see here. We'll go out to 60 miles per hour. Hackleburg at 11:36, Phil Campbell at 11:44, Newburgh at 11:57, Mount Hope at 11:59, Concord at 12:04. So tornado warning in effect, red box polygon. Russellville, you are in the path of a potential tornado. Hodges as well as Phil Campbell. But we're going to have to see what this area of circulation does because it's still down in Marion County, but man, it's going to go right between Hodges and Hackleburg, likely going to continue up here into Franklin County, crossing 43, closer to Phil Campbell, at least on the current path, I think, than Russellville. So closer to Phil Campbell than Russellville on the current path. If anything changes, of course, we'll let you know, but you've got the times of arrival here on your screen. So we do have a couple of different situations ongoing now. We've got 2 active tornado warnings. We've got a massive severe thunderstorm warning box here in yellow. That is for the potential of severe storms capable of producing 60+ mile per hour winds, in some cases maybe even 70. Earlier, I was talking about the winds that we were sampling within that storm. I was talking about potential 80 mile per hour winds. We were looking at a radar, of course, that's when the beam goes out and travels out, it's hitting a different part of the storm where the winds could be different at different elevations. So not necessarily surface level, but certainly a powerful storm that could be producing maybe 60 to 70 mile per hour winds. So the tornado warning is continuing for the storm that was possibly producing a tornado that was northeast of Rogersville, so well northeast of Rogersville. Local, looks like we got a local storm report. As I'm reading right now, train weather spotter intercepted. This is just coming down 5 miles east of Killen. Now this was at 11:11, so I wanted to make this clear. This was at 11:11. Report of a intercepted tornado along Highway 72 near Star Cemetery. That was a report from the Weather Service saying a trained weather spotter said they intercepted a tornado along Highway 72. That was at 11:11, and that was near the Killen area. So that was when we were tracking that cell. It moved from Florence up toward Killen and continues here into Limestone County. And then again, we have that tornado warning here that's in Franklin County right now. Let's zoom in another time. Let's check out this one in Limestone County, and I'm going to put our other radar source on this, and we'll take a closer look at what the velocity is doing in this one. And it does not look as strong as it once did, Jessica. So that's certainly some good news, at least this northern one. Just looking at base velocity, looking at storm relative velocity, rotation looks like it's broadening out, which is certainly some good news. This tornado warning, by the way, in effect until 11:45. Are you seeing similar things?
Yeah, on that one, it seems like it's kind of definitely broadening out on that one. We're not really seeing as much in the chat about that either.
Yeah, so that's good news for those of us that do live in Limestone County. Earlier, we were talking about Athens, and I was saying that if that storm continued on an east path, it was most likely going to miss you. Tornado warning box has been trimmed, so Athens, you're not in a tornado warning anymore, but you're still in a severe thunderstorm warning. The good news about this one is it looks like the area of rotation has really broadened out in that area, but I do want to take a closer look here because there's some interesting stuff going on in Giles County, and let's take a look at what's going on there. Let's put a couple of different sources on. So there's a storm relative velocity. The storm relative velocity, when you see us click that, that's just basically subtracting out how fast the storm is moving so that we can get a better idea what the storm is. The wind is inside the storm, and the base velocity is just kind of scanning the base level. But interesting feature here, we'll zoom in And I know we have the tornado warning on going to the south. Let's take a closer look. Interesting kind of feature right through here. We'll see what happens with that north of Bethel. That's up in Giles County. We'll see if anything comes of that, maybe a little area of broad rotation trying to develop there. Let's go back to the other circulation that's down to the south, that tornado warning in effect for Franklin County. This tornado warning in effect until 12:15 in the morning. And again, I don't see any new information either coming in from the chat. And you hear us talk about that often, the chat. That's a service that's provided from the National Weather Service. Local media can dial into that and get any reports from spotters or any indications that they will continue a warning. So that's why we continue to look there, because we're able to pass along storm reports to you that way. All right, so let's take a look here at this one down south in Franklin County right now. And I'm going to have to switch this radar back to our other source. And this storm is certainly a strong storm that continues to move through Marion County right now. This storm has had a history of producing very strong rotation. Let's go ahead and put our laps on it. This is going to tell us what the rotation has been doing over the last hour or so. And look, this is actually broadening out a little bit at the moment, which is good news, but I've circled where the rotation is currently and what we're noticing here. Still need to take the storm seriously, but wow, look how tight that circulation was. So right through here, look at those greens and those peaches really close together. I'll point it out one more time, right through here. See that right through there? So that's where we had really strong rotation as it was moving through Mississippi and western Marion County. Good news, it looks like that area broadening out, but there is still circulation on that. So make sure you're still in your safe spot if you are in southern Franklin County. I've shown an area right here in white where we still are tracking some rotation. As the storm, of course, gets closer to Huntsville, we'll take a look at some of the cameras around here and get an idea of what's going on. Let's put our rain on there again so you can get an idea of everything going on. So this is the nasty line of storms we've been talking about for days now that was going to be moving through the Tennessee Valley. We were going to look for any bow echo features, which we're starting to see a little bit of that occur here in Limestone County. So out ahead of this, we could get really high winds. And again, we've been in a warning now in Huntsville for severe weather for a while because it's surging out ahead. And then, of course, we're going to get a lot of lead time. So we've got that lead time on there for this line, this nasty line of storms here. And there is a lot of lightning with this. But again, I don't have the lightning on because it's easier to see areas of rotation without the lightning on it. But nonetheless, powerful line of wind coming through Limestone County right now. And then eventually that's going to be moving into Madison County. And then, of course, we're watching up here in southern Middle Tennessee because we do have potential for high winds moving through Giles and Lincoln County, Tennessee. And then right through here, of course, the leading edge of this part of the line could strengthen. Right now, we're not in a warning in Lawrence County, but that could strengthen. And then, of course, we're watching this cell. The area of rotation is still in extreme northern Marion County, but it looks like it might be trying to cross into Franklin County any moment now. And if I put another source of our radar on here, we can get a better idea of the powerful storm that's moving through. And again, this tornado warning in effect until 11:45. If you are in Rogersville, you're still in the clear. If you are in Elkmont, you're still in your safe spot. And let's take a look at our wind speed. So Cairo, you are in the clear. You can get out of your safe spot. You are in the clear. I would stay there if you're in Elkmont. This is so broad right now. It's even hard to make out where a rotation area is anymore. Let's put our velocity product back. Let's go ahead and put it back on play mode rather. Yeah, so it's really broadened out. I'm just trying to look here. It looks like if we were seeing anything, it might actually be exiting the tornado warning polygon. If we were to see anything, it might be right through there. So north of Elkmont right now, based on what I'm seeing with the whole movement of the storm. And that would be outside of the polygon. So good news for those of you that do live in this area. I would stay in your safe spot for just a few moments longer if you're in Elkmont. And if you're in Ardmore, I would also just be paying really close attention to this because it's possible that this recycles and then we get a tornado warning on this one. So just a heads up if you're in Ardmore to keep paying attention to this one. I'm going to go ahead and take the lapse mode off because this right here is where we could possibly be seeing another area of rotation, or possibly the same area of rotation that's been kind of broad and might be trying to recycle or tighten up. So we'll see what's going on there. But Ardmore, just a heads up for you, just in case this tornado warning is extended into your area. Nonetheless, this is a powerful storm, still producing quite a bit of wind. Jessica, let's go ahead and take, if you have our Athens camera, maybe we can pull that up. And then if there's I'm trying to think, Franklin County, I don't believe we have any cameras down in Franklin County that I can think of off the top of my head. But go ahead and walk us through, yeah.
I was going to say, I'll check, but I don't think so, but I'll double check. This is Athens camera right now. Continuing to see, the winds have really picked up in the past few minutes or so. I know I've been saying this each time I've come on, but it's because as that line gets progressively closer, we continue to get those strong winds with it. So what we are continuing to see as that line moves in is those strong wind gusts. As we've been talking about, most of you have been dealing with wind gusts close to 70 miles per hour, and this is leading to significant power outages across our area, especially across the Shoals area and into Lauderdale County itself. Over 10,000 customers right now without power over in the Shoals. So we are seeing significant power outages across parts of our area this evening. Another thing we are going to be dealing with is that threat to even see that chance of downed trees out there due to how strong these winds are. Let's see if we can take a look at another camera view right now. We're going to try to take a look at our Molten view. Let's see if we can see what that one looks like. So that one's not really showing us anything right now. Let's see what else we have that we can kind of look at and see what else we can kind of give you a view of things right now. Here's Miner Hill. You can see how frequent the lightning is over that way. You're not going to get the best view because it's night, as Danielle was saying. It's night outside, so we're not going to be seeing much. Danielle, they did just issue a new severe thunderstorm warning also.
Yeah, that one is moving east at 60 miles per hour. So that severe thunderstorm warning is in effect, and that's going to be for Lincoln County up in Tennessee. We know that you were in so here's Fayetteville, so the warning is going to be for this part of the county now. So earlier Fayetteville and south was in a severe thunderstorm warning. Now it looks like the northern section there for the storm potentially producing 60-mile-per-hour winds and moving east now at 60 miles per hour. So again, just another update on everything that is occurring across the Tennessee Valley. We've been with this for a couple of hours now, and this is a line of storms that continues to work its way across our area, producing very high winds, powerful winds that could be up around 60+ miles per hour at times, and also a couple of tornado warnings embedded within this line of storms. And of course, Huntsville, I know that we are in a severe thunderstorm warning as well until 12:15. Tornado warning in effect here until 11:45, so another 5 minutes for Limestone County. Although, as I was showing you earlier, it was looking like the rotation area was starting to cross out of that polygon, and in fact it is, and it's really broad now, so that's some good news there. Broad meaning it's dying down, so it's not as strong of a rotation area as we were once seeing, and that's what we like to see. We like to see these areas that are dying down. So this is again, we'll zoom back in one more time, and this is going to be a tornado warning for another 4 minutes, but I don't see any other area rotation within this tornado warning polygon right now. So Elkmont, I would go ahead and say you're safe to come out of your safe spot. If you're in Cairo, Salem, or O'Neill, you're also safe to come out of your safe spot. Athens, again, we've been talking about this, but you have been removed a while ago, from that tornado warning polygon. So you are good to go as well. We're still continuing, though, to track really high winds that are moving through this area. So some of these winds that we've been sampling up around 60 to 70 miles per hour. And so that's why we still have severe thunderstorm warnings too, because the leading edge of this line of storms is producing those high wind gusts, and that's straight line wind damage is what we call it. Let's take a look here at this Franklin County tornado warning, and let's go ahead and put a different source of a radar on here for you, and we'll take a look at the velocity product to see what's going on. And things have really changed in this one too, like I was showing you a couple of moments ago. And yeah, so that right through here where my hand is where the rotation area is right now. This is where, I'm gonna keep my hand here. So look at how this whole thing has progressed. If you look closely right through there where those reds and those peaches, and I'll move my hand, look at where the greens and the reds and the peaches were really close together near north of Aberdeen in Mississippi. And so the area of rotation has continued to track through Marion and weaken as it's been moving through northern Marion County. So that's really great news for those of us in Franklin County, but we still are in a tornado warning in Franklin County until 12:15. Jessica.
They are going to cancel the warning, the tornado warning for Lauderdale and for Limestone counties. So that warning will be canceled. That's the tornado warning, but we will continue to see that severe thunderstorm warning for parts of northern Alabama, though.
All right, thank you for that update. We'll go back to the radar now, show you that velocity product, and we'll go ahead and turn this lapse mode off. I wanted to just point out that area of rotation that had weakened a little bit throughout the area, and so that's certainly some good news. Let's take a closer look, and this is the one she's talking about. This one is going to be allowed to expire. I was just letting you know that that rotation is just gone. We're not really seeing it anymore, and it's moved out of the polygon region. So no longer a tornado warning in Athens County, in Limestone County rather, or in Athens, but certainly some strong winds that are associated with this, and we can go ahead and take a closer look at our products here to get a better idea. Right through here, still heavy rain. I mean, this is torrential rain, and along this leading edge of this line that's moving through Athens right now. Jessica, if we can pop up our, and actually we just got a new severe thunderstorm warning, but that's gonna be south of our area. If we can, let's show everybody our Athens camera as these storms move through, because the leading edge is just pushing through right now. Maybe we can even take a look at some of our wind gust maps too.
Yeah, so Athens camera's up right now. You can see how the wind has now shifted. So as that line is coming through, what's going to happen is that wind's going to shift on us. And you can see on the flagpole there how that wind is shifting. So earlier on, when it was just going straight ahead with that strong wind gust, as we got that straight line wind, that flag was going straight. Now as it's wrapping around, that is leading to some that wind shifting. This is a look at some of our wind gust speeds right now. Here in Huntsville, we're at 48 miles per hour. That's also the case over towards Decatur. Further off towards the west, it's slightly lower, but that's because that main line has already passed through your area. You already dealt with that close to 70 mile per hour wind gust. Muscle Shoals, you clocked a wind gust speed close to 66 miles per hour. So it's been pretty strong. We have this one's not confirmed. It's a preliminary spotter report, but someone did have a spotter report of their wind gauge was 67 miles per hour. This was over towards the Rogersville area. So we are seeing very strong winds, especially with that severe thunderstorm warning itself. We've been talking about how the winds associated with it are close to 70 miles per hour, Danielle.
Yeah, those are some really strong winds. I see them right there on the map. I mean, that's really powerful. And we have a severe thunderstorm warning now near Hackleburg to Haleyville, moving northeast at 55 miles per hour. So new severe thunderstorm warning in effect now. And we also have a severe thunderstorm warning. So right through here, that's until 12:30 in the morning. So that's the one we were just talking about. That is now in effect until 12:30. So here's the tornado warning. Here's the severe thunderstorm warning. And of course, we're still in a severe thunderstorm warning here in Athens and in Huntsville and in Fayetteville. We're all in, if you're in the yellow box, you're in a severe thunderstorm warning. And if you are in a red box, you're in a tornado warning. And we're gonna take a closer look here still at this area down south, because I want to check this out, see a closer look at what the velocity is doing, what those winds are doing within that storm, to see if we can get a better idea. And everything is just kind of falling apart, and that's some good news for us if we're in this vicinity. If you're in Phil Campbell, we're still in a tornado warning, but if we put this into play mode, and I'm doing this so I can get a better idea of where that circulation has wound up, and it looks like it's wound up right through here. And yes, so it's going to be right through here where that area of rotation would possibly be. So again, kind of coming right into southern Franklin County right now. Certainly has fallen apart a lot, which is good news.
They're going to cancel it.
Okay, so they're going to cancel that, and they just, looks like, yeah, so they're going to cancel that tornado warning. So that tornado warning is going to pop off. So just as I've been saying, that area of rotation has just, you can't even really make it out anymore. If there was one, it'd be maybe some broad rotation right through here, but it looks like that they have gone ahead and put a destructive severe thunderstorm warning in effect until midnight now for Marion County. So there's that information for you. Here's a severe thunderstorm warning for Lawrence County. This storm is continuing to move, I believe, at about 60 miles per hour. That's about how fast they have been moving tonight. And again, the severe thunderstorm warning to the south, that's Winston, so that's out of our area. But the destructive severe thunderstorm warning, that's for Marion County, so we are not in that. And the tornado warning has been allowed to expire. And we are on programming. Jacob, if you can remind me what is on right now. I think that we're going to stay with this, though. Okay, so we are in the middle of News 19 right now, and basketball ended, and we would be in a newscast. So we are in a newscast right now on WHNT News 19. So we're going to stay with this, and I want to track this because it is a very strong line of storms moving through, and there's also going to be the potential of some embedded tornadoes, some embedded circulations within this. So we'll go ahead and stay with this as this continues to move through the area. And just a closer look here at everything that's going on. I do like to occasionally look at the entire area, expand the view, and look at the Tennessee Valley so we can get a better idea of what's happening, and certainly still have a powerful line. And if you remember, over the last couple of days, we were telling you that this was likely going to start to move into the Huntsville metro between midnight and 3 a.m. And here it is at 11:48, and we've got some heavy rain and even some lightning that is occurring now within Madison County. So we'll zoom in here and talk about this one right here. So here we are in Hazel Green and Meridianville. We've got heavy rain. We've got cloud to ground lightning. Some of the heaviest, though, is over Ardmore and Athens and Cairo right now. All of those reds, that's heavy rainfall. On the leading edge of this wall of water, if you will, that's where we have, and they just trimmed it back, but the leading edge of this wall of water is where we have the potential for those high winds. So if you're in Meridianville, while you might get some gusts, it's not going to be quite as strong as the leading edge of this line of storm. So let's track that now that we're out of a tornado warning, but we're still in a severe thunderstorm warning. So let's go ahead and track this from Lincoln County all the way down to the south, and we'll do some other storm tracks for the rest of the line, don't worry. So we'll get you out to about 60, because that's how fast these storms have been moving. Again, these storms are in effect for potential 60-mile-per-hour winds. Athens, it's headed into your area now. Taft now. Howell at 11:52, Bobo at 11:53. Powerful storms moving closer to our area right now and capable of producing possible 60 to maybe even 70 miles per hour winds. We'll have to see what happens. Fayetteville at 11:55. If you're in Tony, 11:57, Harvest at 11:58, East Limestone near midnight. So a powerful storm capable of producing torrential rain, electric thunderstorm, so a lot of lightning associated with this. And then, of course, we will have the potential of the 60+ mile per hour winds with this one. So that's a track on that storm. Let's go ahead and show you the other parts of the storm line, because we do have quite a few severe thunderstorm warnings ongoing right now. So we'll track it from southern Limestone County. We'll get it all the way through this part. And if we track that going out to about 60, that's going to be moving into Caddo, 11:54. So within the next 3 minutes, if you're in Trinity, this is going to be moving in your area at 11:55. Decatur, 12:01. Austinville, 12:01. Belmina, 12:05. Point Mallard, 12:06. Addison, 12:07. Mooresville at 12:07. So that's on the current path of this whole line of storms. So I just wanted to track it off for you, because I know you look at this and there's a lot going on. So this whole nasty line of storms pushing east at about 60 miles per hour. Parts of the line are severe. Surprisingly, there's one little gap right through here that is not, but majority of it is severe right now. So I would just treat it all in that area as severe. I mean, this could pulse up at any minute and produce some really high winds. This whole line, though, is just really strong with heavy rain, lightning. Embedded in that, there's been a little bit of hail at times. So we could have that possibility too. And then we'll keep tracking this to see if there are any areas of rotation that we need to check out. So we'll do that along the way. So that's what I'm seeing right now. There are no current tornado warnings, luckily, in our area right now. But Jessica, if these storms slow down, we could be looking at a possible flash flood issue. Most of the time, these storms are moving pretty quickly, but you can see behind in Mississippi, we've got numerous flash flood warnings.
Yeah, so that's going to be another one of our threats as we head into the next couple of hours or so. As we were talking about some of the main threats tonight, we're going to be, of course, the strong winds. We were talking about how we have that wind advisory that is in effect through early tomorrow morning, because outside of those storms, we were going to be dealing with the strong winds. Now, as these storms move through, on the backside, we have all that moisture in place, right? We have all those environmental parameters in place that were helping to allow these storms to thrive today. We have the warm air, we have that moisture in place, and of course we have the instability. So with that moisture in place out there, with these storms beginning to slow down, if they continue to slow in nature, in their track, they will lead to that chance and that threat of localized heavy rainfall. Off to the west of us, we do already have flash flood warnings just over the border into northeastern parts of Mississippi. You can see right now in Athens, it's downpouring there. But if we take a look at the analysis mode, that's all heavy rainfall. But you can see just how broad the flash flood warnings are. This is from that line of storms as it tracked into parts of Mississippi earlier on today. So this is just showing you how much rain has fallen in such a short period of time, not only in our area potentially, but even into parts of Mississippi. So on top of that threat of some of the frequent lightning we're dealing with and the strong winds, the heavy rain is definitely potentially going to be a threat as we head into tonight, Danielle.
Yes, we're talking, with our forecast, a potential 1/2 inch to 1 3/4 inches of rain, just depending on your location. And I do want to take a closer look. I was just sampling a little bit of this line off camera. Let's take a closer look here at this velocity that's going on in Lincoln County, because right up here, I'm not liking what I'm seeing. So we'll have to see what goes on with this. But there's a little notch right through here, just west of Fayetteville. Heads up Fayetteville, potential for a tornado, potential. There's no warning yet for this, but there is a little notch that I'm keeping my eye on. So we'll kind of just pay attention to this. That's crossing right over 64 right now in Lincoln County. That's going to be north of Kirkland and just west of Fayetteville. It's just an area, a little notch that we're watching closely, and we'll see if anything comes out of that. No tornado warning currently in effect for this, but something that we will focus our attention on as well in the short term at least, and see what happens. But if you're north of Kirkland and you're west of Fayetteville, just a heads up that there's a little notch that's starting. We just got another, so here it is. So a little notch starting to develop here. We'll see if it tightens up, and by tightening we mean getting stronger. So if the circulation starts to get stronger, we'll let you know, but just a little notch going on right here that I'm not liking. That's headed right into the Fayetteville area. So Fayetteville, just pay really close attention to this. And, you also want to be in a safe, sturdy structure right now because of just the high wind that we have. We still have the severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 12:15. So just again, another heads up for those of you in Fayetteville, little notch going on right there that's not looking good. So we'll see if a tornado warning comes out of that. All right, so we've got the yellow box here, a bunch of yellow boxes through Lincoln, of course, Madison, Limestone, Lawrence County, Eastern Franklin County, all with a severe thunderstorm warning right now for the potential of 60-mile-per-hour winds. And also within this, we're noticing some heavy rain, as Jess was talking about, and frequent lightning. So a lot of lightning associated with this. Just look how powerful this storm line is right now. Getting a report of a tree down on Highway 99 across. That's from West Limestone Volunteer Fire Department. We are starting to get some reports. We have been getting some reports, rather, across northwest Alabama from these storms tonight. So again, powerful line of storms continuing to move through. Let's go ahead and track them again for you. Fayetteville, just a heads up, again, that little notch that's developing. Not really liking that, but we'll see if a tornado warning comes out of that. We've got a 60-mile-per-hour storm motion, so these storms moving to the east at 60 miles per hour, capable of producing 60-mile-per-hour winds currently. Tony moving in now. Bellevue 1158. Fayetteville 1158. Park City 1159. Harvest 1159. Hazel Green 1204. And Belmina at 1205. So nasty line of storms, torrential downpours, frequent lightning, potential for some hail embedded in some of this. And currently there is one little area I'm watching that's in Lincoln County that if it tightens up could possibly produce a tornado. But right now it looks like we are in a severe thunderstorm for these really powerful winds. So that's the times of arrival that I've got on your screen right there. Let's take a closer look at the southern flank of the line and go ahead and time that out for you. And there's this one little piece I was talking about that's not severe, but I would just look at that as possible severe, because that's going to be, that's possible that starts to surge out. So right through here, there's no warning if you're curious, but we'll watch that area too if it does become severe. But I would just treat the whole line and just seek shelter anyway, because the whole thing is really powerful in intensity. So whether it's a 60-mile-per-hour wind or a 50-mile-per-hour wind, it's still going to be really strong. So here we go. So we've got this one as well to track, this part of the line, that is, and that is because we have Basham at 1208, Oak Ridge at, it looks like 1210. Let me go ahead and put the information box here. So this is Lawrence County. And this is Flint City at 1210, Battleground 1213, Priceville at 1214. So this is your times of arrival for those of you that live on the southern part of this nasty line of storms moving through. So we have had some reports of damage already, and we've had a couple of reports we had a funnel cloud, we had a report. Okay, and now is that on the storm I was tracking?